All right, welcome back into Pure Adrenaline Sports, everybody. This is John coming at you with this week's MLB Power Rankings. We already got Charles in the chat. What's going on, Sir Charles? How is everybody doing this Sunday? It is the last Sunday of June, so we will bring you this week's MLB Power Rankings. Next week's probably won't be as long as the show. The Mets are the 12:30 game on Sunday, so we'll just do next week. We'll just do a quick recap of the power rankings. Charles says he's doing well. Let's go. Welcome in. Gavin's here saying Phillies better be over Washington. Let me come over. Gavin says Phillies better be over Washington. Well, Gavin, give me a projection. Where do you think your Phillies are at? Where do you think the Phillies are at? And we'll keep track here. Miss Gina is here as well. What is up, Miss Gina? And no District Nation with us this week. So I hope the young man's doing okay. I know he's been really busy with doing some things over on his channel as well. So Gavin saying 6. Thank you, Gavin. We will keep an eye on that. Gavin saying the Phillies should be at 6. I know where they're at already, but we'll wait till we get there. And let's start climbing up through the ranks. Let us start climbing through the ranks. Coming in at number 30 this week, once again, the Colorado Rockies. No movement from last week. They are 33-50 on the year. Definitely struggling pitching-wise. We still have them as the 4th best offense in baseball. They're 4th in average, 12th in runs scored, 3rd in hits. But look, almost dead last in every pitching category. But we don't have them dead last overall. They got one more with Minnesota. One more with Minnesota before a 4-game series with Miami in Colorado. And then they are home for San Francisco next weekend. That's the 4th of July weekend. And Gavin saying that the Phillies better be over the Nationals, that kind of reminds me. I'm surprised we didn't get more comments this past week for that. But that's okay. Let's keep climbing here as the chat is slow so far. Coming in at number 29. The Kansas City Royals, down 2 spots from 27 last week. They're 34-50 on the year. They are still struggling. 5-5 over their last 10, so playing 500 ball. 14th on offense, 27th in pitching. They are top 10 in stolen bases, so they're doing okay there. But man, their pitching has not been good. They have one more with the White Sox today before they are back home Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They have an off day on Friday? That's odd. I'll have to double check that. An off day there, but yeah, they are home for 3 with Tampa Bay and then 2 or 3 with Philadelphia. Right now it just says Saturday the 4th. That's weird. I'll have to double check that. But let's keep climbing here. Coming in at number 28 this week. Up 1 spot, the San Francisco Giants. We haven't seen DK in the chat yet. DK will be. I'd like to know DK's thoughts on his Giants. I know he's not happy with the manager, but they are 34-48 on the year, playing a little bit better over their last 10 there at 500. 16th on offense, 20th in pitching. Look at 4th in average and 27th in runs scored. So they're getting on base. Just not getting people in. Pitching wise, they're 21st in ERA. Don't give up a lot of home runs, but they don't strike out a lot of people either. One more with Atlanta. Then they go on the road for 3 with Arizona and 3 in Colorado. So San Francisco still struggling on the year. It'll be interesting to see. We're a little over a month away from the trade deadline as well. So we'll see if San Francisco starts trading away some of their pieces. Coming in at number 27 this week, my New York Mets. They are down one spot again, from 26 last week to 27 this week. They have finally fired Carlos Mendoza. Was it 100% Carlos Mendoza's fault? No. Injuries play a key factor. Guys underperforming. Just not good. It has not been a good season. But that's where the manager needs to come in and show some leadership. And Mendoza never provided that. Mendoza's first year and a half as manager, the Mets were one of the best teams in the sport. The last year and a half under Mendoza, the worst team in the sport record-wise. So, Bam saying, yo, PAS, what is up, Bam? Bam, I'd like to know your thoughts as well. Gavin was in here saying that the Phillies better be ranked higher than the Nationals this week, and he thinks they'll be ranked 6th. So let me know where you think your Phillies will be as well. But yeah, one more with for my Mets with the Phillies. The rubber match today. The Mets won Game 2 yesterday, 6-2. Then they go to Toronto for 3, an off day on Thursday, and then a 4-game series with Atlanta. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 7th. Bam saying 7th. Bam saying 7th for his Phillies. It's the start of fixing the Mets. I agree. It's a start, but might be too little, too late. I still don't think they're a playoff team. I would like to keep them. I would like to see them keep the losses under 90 for the year. But yeah, I don't. Barring some magical run, this team is done, and they'll probably start trading some pieces away. Not so much any of their offensive players. They really don't have. You see, they're ranked 29th on offense. They're not going to trade Soto or Lindor, but their pitching is still 9th. One of the best bullpens in the game. So we'll see if they start trading some of those pieces away. We will recap 21 through 30 when we get there. But coming in at number 26, up 2 spots from last week, the Angels. Angels still 14 games under. They fired their president of baseball operations, which is a surprise. And usually in season, you don't see that. Managers, yes. GMs and president of baseball operations, you don't usually see that. But they are 12th on offense and 19th in pitching, and they're 14 games under. So not good there. One more with the A's before they go to Seattle for 3. It's weird. They play Monday and Tuesday, then a day off Wednesday, and then they play Thursday. And then you see that our Mets are off on the 2nd. That's that Thursday. We're getting ready to play Atlanta, so I figured I'd cover the Atlanta-St. Louis game on that Thursday. But yes, Seattle. They go to Seattle for 3, and then they are back home to face the Red Sox. Miss Gina says, sadly agree, Mr. John. It is too late, but hope the players keep a spark. Yeah. And we saw that yesterday, right? We saw that yesterday, and the way they came back, they were down 2-0, and then came back and won 6-2. Oops. Sorry. Yes, we were doing a bullpen game today. Yep. Buck Skull, what's going on? Saying hello, welcome in. I think you've been here before. Remind me again who your team is. What did I miss? Not much. We're just at number 26 here. We'll recap 21 through 30 when we get down there. We will go down to 25 here. Once again, the Angels up 2 spots. The Tigers, they have lost 3 spots. We thought they were going to start climbing with Scooble coming back. We figured they would start climbing a little bit more, but once again, heading the wrong way. One more with Houston before they go to the Yankees for 3, and then a weekend series with Texas. Once again, they start that series on Thursday, then they're off on Friday. So some weird off days here. Hey, there he is, DK. San Francisco Giants will win the World Series, mark my word. But let's keep climbing here. Coming in at number 24 this week, Cincinnati. No movement from last week. Cincinnati still struggling a little bit with 3 games under 500. 21st on offense overall, 24th in pitching. So bottom tier in both categories there. They had a nice come from behind win last night against Pittsburgh, and they got one more with Pittsburgh today. Then they go to Milwaukee for 4, and then they're back home for Baltimore next weekend. What's up, Jeff? No, that's so true, man. Google doesn't help the Tigers' terrible offense. Not sleeping on the Dodgers. Nobody's sleeping on the Dodgers. Jeff in from Jerusalem. Love your hat. He used to have season 6 to the Jets. Charles says if you have not done so already, pause now and give the like button a thumbs up. All right, coming in at number 23 here. I still call them the Oakland A's, even though they're just the Athletics now. They're still 3 games under 500, 40 and 43 on the year. 9th on offense, but 29th in pitching. One more with the Angels. They're back home for the Dodgers for 3 and the Marlins next weekend. I don't want to say 3 or 4 because I don't want to assume some teams are playing that Monday on their weekend trips as well. So coming in at number 22 this week, the Toronto Blue Jays down 5 spots from 17 last week. 4-6 over their last 10. I don't follow Toronto, so I don't know what's going on a daily basis there. But we will see. Starting tomorrow, our Mets are there for a 3-game series. But they have one more with Texas. Then the 3-game series with the Mets. Then next weekend they go to Seattle. So it doesn't get any easier after they play our Mets. And we'll see. The Mets, won under the manager, and the game they lost was only a 2-1 game. Bam says the A's envy the Nats bullpen. Very funny. Coming in at number 21, the Houston Astros up 4 spots from last week's number 25. You see they're 7-3 over their last 10. So they are starting to climb up here as well. I have not seen C. Lee yet this morning. That the Houston is his team. But Houston's got one more with Detroit before they're back home for Minnesota for 3 and Tampa Bay next weekend. So we'll see if Houston can keep climbing up through the ranks here. I got to find a way to show where the teams are changing offensive and pitching ranks as a whole. Like where was Houston last week? Are they climbing? Are they falling? So that's the kind of stuff I like to work on. Team ranks week to week. All right, so let us recap 21 through 30 here, just in case you might have missed something. The Rockies still dead last. Kansas City has dropped to 29. San Francisco moved up 1 spot to 28. Our Mets dropped a spot to 27. The Angels up 2 spots. The Tigers down 3 spots. The Reds stayed the same. The A's, who were in the top 20 last week, dropped to 23, and Toronto was in the top 20 as well, and they dropped to 22. But Houston's up to number 21. So there's those rankings. If you are watching on the replay, let us know. Out of the teams that are here, 30 through down to 21, let us know who shouldn't be here at this point or who will climb up from where they are at the moment. But let's keep going here. We do have our Mets and Phillies today at 1:30. Coming in at number 20, down one spot from number 19 last week, the Minnesota Twins. They are still 6 games under 500. Fifth in offense, 26th in pitching. One more with Colorado. Then they go to Houston for 3 and the Yankees next weekend. So Minnesota could keep falling here with some tough matchups coming up, especially against the Yankees. Well, we'll talk about the Yankees because the Yankees trying to avoid the sweep in Boston. But coming in at number 19 this week, the Orioles are up 2 spots. Tough loss for them yesterday. I think they lost 2-1. They have one more with the Nationals today before they face the White Sox. A day off on Thursday, and then they go to Cincinnati on Friday. Baltimore is 10th on offense, but no pitching, 23rd there. Not in the top half of any of the pitching categories. So, which is weird because when they do get pitching, like yesterday, they only score 1 run. So the offense didn't show up. Coming in at number 18. The Boston Red Sox. They are up 5 spots from number 23 last week. They are 6-4 over their last 10, including 3 in a row with the Yankees. I don't know what they did before the Yankees series. It could be more than a 3-game winning streak. But on offense, starting to climb a little bit, 25th, but they're 14th in average. They put a little pressure on when they do get on base, 13th in stolen bases, and they're 5th in pitching. So if they can get that offense turned around a little bit, maybe make a run here. And I don't know. See, that's another thing I'll have to start looking at. The wild card standings for these teams. So we'll start taking a look at that now that we're past the halfway point of the year. But one more with the Yankees. That's the Sunday night game. District Nation and play-by-play with JJ will be doing that one together tonight. So make sure you check them out tonight. But then, the Red Sox have Washington going to Boston, and then they go to Los Angeles next weekend to face the Angels. So good for them. Up 5 spots this week. 3 straight wins against the Yankees. That's got to feel good for them. But let's keep climbing here. Coming in at number 17, the Arizona Diamondbacks, down 1 spot from last week. 4-6 over their last 10. That's the reason for a little bit of a drop here. Offense, they are still struggling, 25th. Pitching-wise, 21st. But they're right at 500. I'd sign me up for that right now. If my Mets were 41-41 or whatever, I'd sign up for that right now after the season we've had. Miss Gina says, I believe our Mets will continue to play better. And love it. She's loving that for Fitzy for his Red Sox. Yeah. San Francisco, Arizona. One more with Tampa Bay. Then they're back home for San Francisco and Milwaukee. So San Francisco is a winnable series, but you never know with Milwaukee. If they have to face Miz, that's going to be a tough matchup. Young man throws almost 106 miles an hour. coming in at number 16. Yeah, I'll take 500, right? The Texas Rangers, they are up 2 spots from last week. They are 1 game under 500, 15th in pitching. I do not know how well DeGrom has been doing this year, but they are 20th on offense. That's that's a surprise to me. I thought they'd be better on offense. They're top tier in average, but they're not scoring runs. 24th in runs. One more with Toronto. Then they go to Cleveland for 3, and then they go to Detroit Thursday, but then an off day on Friday, and then Detroit again on Saturday. We are up to the midway point here, coming in at number 15. The Washington Nationals. Whoa, what a drop. They have dropped 7 spots. Number 8 last week. They've dropped to 15 this week. 3-7 over their last 10. Not. I was listening when I'm live streaming. I'm usually listening to somebody else do another game, and I was listening to play-by-play with JJ during those games. Oh my goodness, what unbelievable comeback! Especially the last game. They didn't wait till the ninth inning in the last game. It was 5-5 going to the ninth, so it wasn't. But it was still a comeback because they were down 5-0 at one point in that game. So, but the Nationals, 29th in pitching, first on offense though. But yeah, Phillies showed why they are dead last. Or not second to last now in pitching. I was going to say hi to Serious Larry, but once again, he proves he's a nozzle. He'll be crying again once the Phillies get knocked out in the second round of the playoffs. Uh, 42, yeah, once again, the Nats, even though they're 3-7 over their last 10, still a 500 team right now. One more with Baltimore, 3 with Boston, and then they're back home for Pittsburgh next weekend. I'm always never not serious. The Cleveland Guardians, number 11 last week, dropped to 14 this week. Still 46 over their last 10. They are struggling on offense, 28th. Their pitching is keeping them afloat. They're 10th overall. One more with Seattle. They have Texas for 3, and the White Sox next weekend. Crazy thing is the first comeback was off their best relief pitcher. And I don't know the first because I know Washington won the first game and they were winning the second game. Did I know there were 2 outs in the ninth? At the time there were 2 outs. Was there anybody on base yet? And then they scored 8 runs with 2 outs. But I don't know if there was already some people on base or second round. But the Guardians still here, dropping the 3 spots. No one was on base. 2 outs down to their final strike. No one on base, and they still score 8 runs. But let's keep climbing here. Coming in at number 13 this week, another team that has dropped 3 spots, the Seattle Mariners. They are 42-42 on the year. Struggling on offense as well. They are 27th, but look at that pitching, 4th. And we have them 4th in baseball overall. Give up a ton of hits. They're 17th there, but ERA 5th. Runs 7th fewest, 3rd fewest home runs, 6th most strikeouts. One more with Cleveland. before they are back home to face the Angels and the Blue Jays. So we will keep climbing here. Coming in at number 12. Well, Brad Lord. The Cardinals. Cardinals have dropped 5 spots, 3-7 over their last 10. They are still 4 games above 500, though. This is still my surprise team of the year. I projected at the beginning of the year the Cardinals to be one of the worst teams in baseball, along with the White Sox. Very surprising there as well. But right now, even though they dropped to number 12, they are still 4 games above 500. One more with Miami before they go to Atlanta for 3, and then they go to Chicago. So tough games coming up for St. Louis. I can see them continue to fall. Coming in at number 11, up 4 spots to San Diego Padres. They are 6-4 over their last 10, 5 games above 500 on the year. They are dead last on offense. Jason Hess is here. What's up, Jason? But 12th in pitching. One more with the Dodgers before they go to Chicago for 3. And then they go to LA to face the Dodgers for 4 next weekend. So let's recap 11 through 20 here. Just in case you might have missed it. Minnesota dropped to number 20. Baltimore came up from the 21 spot. Boston's up 5 spots to 18. Arizona down a spot. Texas up 2 spots. The Nationals, I almost said Commanders. The Nationals up down 7 spots. Cleveland down 3 spots. Seattle down 3 spots. Washington down 5 spots. So a lot of these teams here falling, but San Diego up 4 spots. So is there a team here right now that deserves to be in the top 10 and is not? And is there a team here that is in the top 20 that should be in the 21 through 30 range? We'll wait for a couple comments. So you see Pittsburgh there at number 10. They are up 3 spots. They were 13th last week. They're still a game under, so it surprises me there that they're in the top 10, especially being 5-5. Why would they climb so far? So I'll have to double check that. But one more with Cincinnati. Then they go to Philadelphia for 4 and Washington next weekend. So some tough games coming up here for Pittsburgh. So they'll probably drop out of the top 10 again. Oops, where'd it go? All right, let's go. Let's keep climbing through number 9. Let me see. Gavin said number 6. Bam said number 7. Let's see where you guys Phillies are at. Coming in at number 9 this week, the Miami Marlins up 5 spots from 14 last week to 9 this week. They are 8-2 over their last 10. Yeah, it's Larry. That's odd to me. I usually don't argue with the numbers, but that one doesn't make sense to me, so I'll double check it. Sean M is here. What's up, Sean? But yeah, the Marlins once again 8-2 over their last 10. 11th on offense, 8th in pitching. One more with St. Louis before they go to Colorado for 4 and Sacramento for the 8th next weekend. So Miami could. I think I saw a thing yesterday. Going into yesterday's game, the Marlins are 17-5 in June, something like that. So unbelievable record for them. Coming in at number 8 is your guys, Philadelphia Phillies. They are up one spot, 6-4 over the last 10. I'm going to say the Met loss without. I'd have to go back and look to see where the rankings were at yesterday. I'm going to say the Met loss probably dropped them to number 8, even though it's up one spot from last week. Because once again, you drop a little bit when you lose to the 27th ranked team. But the Phillies right now, the Phillies are definitely climbing. That offensive rank is now 19th, 13th on pitching. One more with our Mets today before they are back home for Pittsburgh for 4 and the Royals. So Philly, on paper, with that schedule, they could take 3 out of 4 from Pittsburgh, if not. It's hard to sweep, so I don't want to assume sweep. But if they beat us again today, if they take 3 out of 4 there, they could definitely sweep or take 2 out of 3 from Kansas City. Philadelphia will definitely keep climbing through the ranks. Well, hey, that's all right. You got to beat those teams, though, right? Coming in at number 7, the Chicago White Sox, up 5 spots from 12 last week. I don't know, 5-5. Why such a high with a 5-5 record over their last 10? Not sure there. But this is a team that surprises me. When Murakami went down, I figured this team would start falling, and they pretty much stayed the same. They have pretty much stayed the same. But one more with Kansas City. Then they go to Baltimore for 3, and then Cleveland for 4. Oh, could be. Yeah, I forgot about that, Bam. Coming in at number 6 this week, the Chicago Cubs. No movement. It's weird. They're 7-3 over their last 10, and no movement. They're still ranked number 6. Offense 7th, 16th. Once again, the only team so far that has had 2 different 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak. You take those 20, so that's 20-10. They would be 25-28 if you take those 30 games away. But they have one more with Milwaukee. Then they're back home for San Diego and St. Louis. Tampa Bay coming in at number 5. No movement from last week either. 47-33 on the year. Once again, Tampa Bay is just that team that never goes away. They are 14th on offense, 14th in pitching. One more with Arizona. Then they go to Kansas City for 3 and Houston next weekend. But let's get to the top 4 here. Cubs are underachievers, says Larry. The Yankees dropped a spot. They were 3 last week. They dropped 1 spot. You would think after losing 3 in a row to Boston, that they would drop a little bit further than that. But they are still 14 games above 500, 3-7 over their last 10. Cole did not look good yesterday. I was watching some of that game. But right now they still have the number 1 pitching status. One more with Boston trying to avoid the sweep. Then they're back home for Detroit and Minnesota. So some winnable game. Well, you would think Boston would have been a winnable series as well, but trying to avoid the sweep. I hope Boston gets it. But coming in at number 3 this week, the Atlanta Braves, down one spot from number 2. They are 3-7 over their last 10. 18th on offense, but 6th in pitching. One more with San Francisco. I don't know. I don't want to assume, but I was watching play-by-play with JJ last night, and the Braves were down 5-0. So I would assume they lost, but I do not know. But 3 with St. Louis, and a 4-game series next weekend with our Mets. But the Braves right now still number 1 in the American or the National League East. Coming in at number 2 this week, they lost. Thank you, ma'am. Coming in at number 2 this week, the Milwaukee Brewers. They are up 2 spots from number 4 to number 2, 50-30 on the year, 6-4 over their last 10. With the Cubs, I see the Cubs won the other night. David Peterson, his first game with the Cubs, they won, and that was the final. Thank you, Charles. Then they have Cincinnati for 4, and Arizona next weekend. So Milwaukee will stay here. So that means coming in again at number 1, the Dodgers staying at number 1, 53-30 on the year, 7-3 over their last 10. One more with San Diego. Then they go to Sacramento for 3. San Diego, or they're back home for San Diego for 4. So 3-7 plus the injuries. Braves headed for a cliff. Probably not a cliff, but I would not be surprised if the Phillies overtake them. So the Dodgers coming in at number 1 once again. A couple weeks in a row, we have not had Braves fans crying after that the Braves should have been number 1. But let's look at the top 10 again. Pittsburgh at number 10, Miami at 9, Philadelphia at 8, White Sox at 7, the Cubs still at 6, Tampa Bay still at 5, the Yankees down 1 spot, 4, Atlanta down a spot to 3, Milwaukee up 2 spots, and the Dodgers once again holding down that number 1 spot. I can check to see. Let me look here. 4 weeks in a row for the Dodgers at number 1. Milwaukee, that's the first time Milwaukee has been up to number 2. Atlanta, that's the first time they've dropped. They've either been first or second all year. That is the first time they've dropped out of one of the top 2 spots. Not a clip, but regression. Oh, definitely. I could see them continue to fall here. Depends on how they do in the Mets series. I don't expect the Mets. First off, the Mets never play against Atlanta well anyway. So I could see Atlanta still being here at 3 in this area and again next week. But then we'll see what their schedule is after that. The Yankees. What's the worst the Yankees have been this year? 5th. So, oh no, 7th. The Yankees were 7th. It's the second week we did our power ranking. So, yeah, odd top 10. There are a couple teams. I agree with Larry. There's a couple teams that really I'm looking at. I'm not sure why they're ranked so high. I don't think right now. I don't think the White Sox should be ranked higher than the Phillies. so we got to double check that. Pittsburgh, I don't know if Pittsburgh really deserves to be in the top 10 right now either. But I have a formula. It spits it out. Let me see how close is it. Yeah, San Diego. The formula spits out a number, and the difference between Pittsburgh and San Diego is 0.08 points. So that's how close it was to one of those two teams being in the top 10. But thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. We'll have another power ranking stream next week. It'll be a much shorter episode because our Mets play at 12:30 next Sunday. So we'll make sure we just come in, give the rankings, and get ready for the game. And at about 45 minutes, we will be live for the Mets and Phillies game. So make sure you go out, support a streamer. We appreciate you guys more than you know for watching. But then, we do have people that go above and beyond to support our channels. We appreciate those guys, you all as well for that. And we will see you all next time. Thanks again, everyone.